I was wondering how long you think it's been since you saw my dad.
Phew, let me think. I talked to him on the phone a few times, but probably so many joints ago, I can't remember.
Like 10 years ago, right?
Oh, at the house. At the house with you guys, your house in Melbourne. Like, man, pretty damn long time ago.
We're going to be filming the reaction of my dad reuniting with one of his best friends after a freaking decade. So this should be good.
This is gonna be funny.
You motherfucking cat.
Yeah.
A motherfucking what?
Cat, yo! A motherfucking cat.
I think no.
No way, right?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's
Hell yeah.
crazy. Yo, we're so old.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Can you believe that just happened?
Good way.
I didn't know. I thought it was some random.
Look who it actually is.
Oh my God! It's Craig!
How crazy is that? All right, so I wanted to bring you guys this video before too much time passes by. And so I guess I bring you guys this information with a heavy heart. Heartbreaking news for his sons, his girlfriend, and for everybody basically who knew him. But I'll just put it out there. So our friend, really, really good family friend, and one of my dad's best friends, probably in the whole world, definitely one of his best friends. It might have been a stretch to say that they were best friends, like best friends, but you don't really meet that many people in life that you have a deep connection with that lasts for decades. So I would say this would probably be a biggest loss for my dad out of anyone in the family, but for everybody who was connected to this situation. So our friend, Craig Bobbitt, really, really close family friend, has passed away. He was in a car accident about, I don't know, a month ago, and he passed away less than a week ago. And just tell some of the backstory of the situation. I'm just holding the GoPro to my face because I feel like it's more personal that way. And I'm just recording the audio so the audio is good. Back in, I guess, 1980, I don't know the history very well, Craig founded this company, Spectrum Surfboards. And they were established in Melbourne, Florida, Melbourne Beach, in the Atlantic, Brevard County, Florida. And he turned his company, he had a dream and he turned the company into a huge company. And he used to drive up and down the whole coast on the East Coast with surfboards in an RV. And he would sell them to the shops on the way. But that's before we met him. And then I would say this had to be over 20 years ago. My dad met him in Florida because he had a surf shop, Spectrum Surf Shop. It's a very legendary place. Lots of cool stuff happened there. But my dad used to take us into the surf shop, and he eventually met Craig and became friends with him. And then later, the friendship turned into a business partnership, and that lasted for a while, years. And then eventually my dad sold back his part of the business to Craig, but we all remained friends. Craig's had 3 sons. My parents had 3 sons, all about the same age. So we really connected really on another level with Benny Bobbitt, his one son. And Craig has always been one of those legendary characters that would pop up from time to time in life. And he's the kind of person that if you've seen him yesterday or if you've seen him 8 years ago, you're still going to have that same reaction.
I think no.
No way, right?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And it's just so easy to fall in love with his character. So this is a dedication to Craig Bobbitt, a really good friend, a good person, a dreamer, and somebody who really, he did what he wanted with his life. And he did something really awesome. and he made his dreams into reality. Just more recently, he was sailing on his sailboat, and his business, he hasn't had his Spectrum business for a long time because his factory burnt down, but that doesn't take away from what he created, and he created a legacy. It's hard for me to get the words out because this is a really sad subject, and it makes me think so much about my own dad, and the position that Betty and his brothers are in right now is probably, it's just too much to handle, but I'm trying to get through this. So yeah, he was a huge, part of surf culture in Florida on the whole East Coast, and he was just such an interesting guy. He was such an awesome guy. So last year, about a year ago, he called me up randomly from a number that I didn't know, and he said, "I'm in Summers Point." So he lives in Florida. "I'm in your town," and I was like, "No, you're not." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm in Summers Point. I'm on my sailboat." And I was like, "That's crazy, dude." So me and Sammy had plans to go to my parents' house for dinner that night. So we just kept the plans, and I was like, "Craig, go to this place, whatever, find a way to get your dinghy from your sailboat to land, and I'll pick you up, and we can surprise my dad and bring you over to dinner at my parents' house," so that my dad hadn't seen him in years, and it was just a really, really cool experience. So I'm just going to play all the footage from that day, and the next day I had a whole bunch of footage of him telling a story, and the footage is probably just going to be pretty raw, but I want the YouTube channel and our videos to be a reflection of my life, Sammy's life, and the people and experiences that have impacted us. So yes, this isn't directly a video about me. It's not directly a video about Sammy. It's a video about an epic person who we're going to miss forever. But always in our hearts, Craig, you're a legend. And yeah. But here it is. Here's the video. Hello? Hey, what's up?
We're at Harbor Cove, a little fancy marina here. You know where that is, next to the docks place?
In Summers Point, right?
This is Summers Point, right? Yeah, in Summers Point.
Okay. Yeah, I live like, I don't know, 5 minutes from there. So I'm about to leave my house. Are you guys ready to go?
Yeah, we're tied up and we're sitting in the parking lot here. It looks like it's just a little bit down from Doc's place. If you come into where you'd park if you had a boat here, that's where we'll be.
Okay, I know the spot.
Yeah.
I was wondering how long you think it's been since you saw my dad?
Phew, let me think. I talked to him on the phone a few times, but probably so many joints ago, I can't remember.
Like 10 years ago, right?
Oh, at the house with you guys, your house in Melbourne, like, man, it's a pretty damn long time ago.
Like 10 years ago.
Yeah, so this will be good. We'll flip him out.
This is going to be great. I'm going to film.
Bad, man, I had a big old curly beard. I just shaved it off. That would have flipped him out, but it's all good.
All right, we're going to get him. I'm going to film his reaction, so it should be funny.
Right on.
All right, we'll be over there in a minute.
Yeah, there's a boatyard right on the other side here where they work on boats, a fence, and then a bunch of parking areas along the dock.
All right, cool.
Condos on the other side, or at the parking area.
We'll be over there in a minute.
All right.
Peace.
Wait.
Okay, today the planets aligned and gave us the most epic reunion known to man. So my father, the Sasquatch, my dad, had a business partner back in the day when I was a young kid by the name of Craig Bobbitt. And he was a surfboard manufacturer, and he owned a surf shop, among other businesses. And my dad was in business with him for years together. And it's been a long time. So my dad hasn't seen Craig for, he just said on the phone, 10 years, he thinks. So we're going to be picking up Craig. My dad has no knowledge of this at all happening, that Craig's even in this state because he's from Florida. Taking him over to my dad's house, who we already planned dinner for before we even knew about this. And we're going to be filming the reaction of my dad reuniting with one of his best friends after a freaking decade. Closer. Yeah.
That's been 10 years, huh?
It's been a while.
I might have talked to you on the phone a little bit, but...
So this should be good.
This is gonna be funny.
Sammy's first time meeting him too, and he's a
Heard lots
character.
of stories. Lots of them.
He has all the stories, but here we go. So he called me today and said, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm in Ocean City, New Jersey," he said. And I was like, wow, okay. That's crazy. I live next to there. And then he just called me back and said that he docked up at this place called Doc's Place, which is literally right next to our house in Summers Point. So coincidentally, I don't think this could ever have worked better.
I don't either. It's gonna be good. Stay tuned.
It's gonna be crazy. You like to just pull in front of people? You think this is gonna be funny watching this guy with my dad?
Yeah, this will be very entertaining for me.
Entertaining for you, right? No way. This guy's a total god. Look at this. No way.
How's
Dude.
the popping in?
No way. What is up?
See ya.
The dream, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta go through these doors right here to get in. This is my wife, Sammy.
Hi, Sammy.
I don't think you met her ever.
No.
There's a giant camera bag, but Turner,
We
your
get it.
seat might need to move up. Or
I
she
can
can
move it
sit in
up.
the middle. Put this
I
one.
can move it up. I can move it up.
Alright. You're good? I'm good.
You go? Is that it? We're in there?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No way. This is unreal when you told me where you were at.
Yeah, we just been wandering down the coast. And I've been meaning to call you, and I just didn't. I go, shit, man, this hometown to see who's out here.
This is literally where my hometown now.
yeah.
This town.
Yeah.
Like we live right up there.
We live like on the
5
other
minutes
side.
away.
I can move my seat.
So how's the whole family?
Good.
Where's
Good.
Ben?
Cruising along. He went, I don't know, he's everywhere. He went
Yeah.
to Florida, I think.
Uh-huh.
And it was just like riding up the coast with the storm, so maybe he's
Who knows?
here
Long
now.
way. We were in Charleston, actually Hilton Head, hanging out. A buddy of mine passed away, a surfer dude, sold boards and stuff there. And, so we went there and hung out for like a week. And somehow his name came up. There's a couple of guys there. He goes, Ben Gravy? And I go, yeah. He goes, oh shit, we know Ben, man. I guess he came and rode the freighter waves up there.
Yeah.
So they all knew him, and they all
He
do
does
that.
a lot of those kind of videos.
Yeah, anything crazy.
Like the ferry that goes from Cape May over to Delaware.
Uh-huh.
He did that like a bunch of times and it was on the news and stuff, so then he just kept going around and doing it because it was like one of those things
Yeah.
that just kept
No one
blowing up.
else is doing it.
Yeah.
Golden. So let's see if we can get a visual. Yeah. Make sure it's still on the hook.
Is it just
Oh,
chilling
over
in the
here.
middle?
No, it's out.
I don't know if we'll see it.
I don't know if you
it's
can
out of
see it
ways.
from here.
We
We-
might not see it.
See, because it's kind of like crooks around and then goes that way.
These trees are
Put
gonna
over
be
the
on.
next bridge.
Maybe the next bridge we'll see the mast.
And then you just took the dinghy from the sailboat.
Yeah, I got a couple of dinghies instead of bringing our little inflatable, the little 5-horse that most people carry. I got the super dinghy with a 20 horses, a fiberglass 12-foot boat with a center console, and it goes about 40. It hauls ass, and it'll go forever. And it'll handle 2-foot seas. If it's more than that, you're getting beat to hell. But so, in a lot of places, we've covered a lot of ground jumping in the dinghy.
Yeah, we're right there.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you can
Oh,
see
I
it.
see it.
Yeah. See it?
So you're
Our ass
good.
is facing us.
That's solid right there. Because this is there's no weather going around here. No
Right.
wind or
Right.
anything.
It's just a tide.
You would know, right?
And they just, you just docked your dinghy up over there.
Well, this one is the other one I hang. You know how?
we talked to a guy and
Oh yeah, I pulled in like I own the place. You know, so it's a fancy private marina, and I saw a little T-dock on the end of the dock where I could tie up, and there's a guy washing his boat. He ended up talking to them for like 20 minutes. They were all stoked on moving, cruising around, telling them. And I was like, well, and he was telling me the public docks around underneath the bridge and around the point. It's like, it's kind of far to go in the dinghy. What do you think if I just tie up here? You think they'll let me slide? And he's like, I don't know. The guy leaves the office at 5:30, and you know, if you don't come down a little bit, he probably won't say nothing. So I just tied up there.
There's so many people coming and going this weekend, especially. They're not going to know who's dinghy it is.
That's what I figured.
Like, there's.
And I won't be there too long because I got to get back before dark. If we hang, well, we are going to hang out another night. But the first night, whenever I get into Anchorage that I don't know, I like to stay on the boat because everything's on that I own is on that freaking boat.
Yeah, no,
until it does the swing and the tide. And if I'm not sure about it, I'll throw 2 anchors down. I almost did it, but I think I'm all right.
I got you though. That's.
We've had a couple times where it's drifted off, and we were in it and saved it. If you're not in it.
Yesterday.
Like it drifted off yesterday.
Well, what'll happen is the worst thing is if the tide and the wind changes all at once and you go 180 on your anchor and it's real muddy and didn't seat well, and it pulls backwards. Usually it reseats, but there's that every once in a while where it doesn't.
So the sailing life is very unpredictable.
Very.
Is that what you
Yeah, weird shit happen.
That sounds
We've had some
crazy.
stories, man.
We've had quite the adventure.
We were pushing it pretty hard one time, and through North Carolina, we were coming up the Intercoastal Way. It was real fucking narrow for a long way. It was either pull in this one place at like 2:30, 3 o'clock, or shoot the Narrows. Well, it took forever, and we were against the current. About halfway through the Narrows, it's like 8:30, and I'm cross-eyed, and I'm fucking done with it. So I should have anchored up right in the middle of the freaking channel, because nobody, it was in the middle of Bumpbuck, nobody came through.
North Myrtle.
But it was far, pretty far north, and instead I got off to the side, and about 2 o'clock in the morning I hear this doom, da-doom, and like a dumbass I didn't get up and tighten up my line, because that's all I need to do is just pull a little tighter and get it out closer to the anchor. And so I wake up in the morning, and I had in my mind it's going to be high tide, so I won't get fucked up, because it'll be high tide in the morning. Well, the one high tide's about 1.5 feet higher than the other high tide, and we had the shitty high tide, and it was going out when I woke up, and the boat's not high and dry, but one corner's up on the shoal. I'm like, oh fuck. I fired up the motors, I couldn't get it off, and so I'm looking at the tide receding on the water line there. I'm going, oh fuck, it's a losing battle. So damn if we didn't go high and dry. I mean, it dropped like 8 foot, and the boat was up on the side, half on these rocks, all day long. I mean, it looked fucked up. I went down there and scraped the bottom and did some shit.
So you just had to hang out while the tide came.
Yeah, I had to hang out all day because I missed that tide. I even repainted the boot stripe that was chipping off. I was bored as fuck. And then finally, and so I'm all like going to be prepared in case I can't get off. So we've got a little kayak, and it's a one-man like little cheap sucker. I throw this anchor rig of about 60 pounds in there and jump in there, and fuck, I'm getting old, man. I wipe out in that thing as it is trying to get in it. So I get out there with the anchor, and it's all looking good, and I'm feeding out the chain, and the anchor gets caught on the side, and the current's ripping pretty good. It dumps me over. I go downstream. I set the anchor and everything, but I had to swim like 300 yards back.
So crazy, though.
Damn dinghy, So shit's
And
been
there's current ripping.
it's keeping me in shape.
No, I can't.
Oh,
I
I
wouldn't
swim
be
like
able
a
to do
fucking
that.
12-year-old.
I'd be
Well, that's why I didn't do it.
Right,
Because I'm
exactly.
the only one that can get in that kayak.
So then I'm like, fuck, I don't know if one anchor will do it. So I put another one out because I'm gonna be damned if I'm not getting off the shoal.
What?
And I didn't
My
need
dad was outside,
I didn't
right?
need either of the
Yeah.
anchors. The tide came up high as shit.
This is perfect timing.
I saw my dad outside, but that's crazy, dude.
Oh yeah.
I don't think
and
I'd
then
do
the
it.
anchors got
I
fouled up, and
literally
Kimmy got a
couldn't do
rope
it. I'd have
burn,
a
and we
nervous
finally got out of there.
Yeah,
It was
my
good.
arm, I got right here.
Oh, I hear her hold this.
You got battle scars.
Oh yeah.
Look at this guy. You gotta take this off quick.
He's gonna move up so I can just pull behind on my deck.
Guys, present.
Better not be a motherfucking cat.
A motherfucking what?
Yo! A motherfucking cat!
I think no.
No way, right?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Hell
That's
yeah.
crazy. Yo, we're so old.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Can you believe that just happened?
No. I even know you from somewhere.
I
She was
dated him
around.
20 years
Yeah.
ago.
Did your
back-
dad own the diner?
No, I worked at the diner.
Wow, good memory.
He knew.
He did know.
Fucking stupid.
So how did I
I believe
this is crazy.
Do you remember me from that day?
Shrimp.
I've met you before, yeah. I've met you before.
Salmon from ShopRite too.
Yeah,
We bought it right before it came.
There it is. The reuniting. Look at that.
I'm Rob.
That's a Kodak moment, guys. Get together.
Wait, what are these from?
From when I took them. Let's get this. Come on, get closer. Yeah.
That's been 10 years, huh?
It's been a while.
I might have talked to you on the phone a little bit.
You don't, wait, do you have any of them yet?
Oh yeah, I'm a granddad.
Which one?
Johnny.
Johnny.
Johnny's got a one that's about 9-10 months. Yeah.
Because we brought our friends over too.
I was like, who's he giving a tour to?
Who do you think it is?
In a good way.
I didn't know. I thought it was some random.
Look who it actually is.
Oh my God! It's Craig!
How crazy is that?
Wait, do you remember her from the diner?
Kimmy.
Yes!
Yeah.
You said your dad owned the diner. No.
No, that's what I said too.
She worked there. How are you?
He was like my dad. He looked like my dad.
We just got here.
He was tall and skinny.
Wait, there was a sailboat anchored off the point.
That's where he is. No, not there.
There was
The
a
catamaran.
sailboat anchored off the point, and I sent a picture to Turner a couple weeks ago and said, I think Craig's here. But I was just being funny because I
Wow.
was not really thinking.
Well, yeah, we were heading this way.
He
How,
just gave
it
us
was just
called my
intuition. How funny is that?
Yeah, we were up in Nantucket.
She did.
Craig's
She
here.
saw it coming.
He's like, "Are you
she
serious?"
manifested
I said, no, I'm just kidding. But there was a sailboat anchored off the point a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
That's where we're
How
at now.
funny is that?
Yeah.
And you guys sailed here from Nantucket?
Well, we came from Florida and we worked our way up. We've been sailing all summer. We left
went to
June
Nantucket?
1st. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been. I was there.
pretty cool there.
34
Oh,
years
real
when I
cool.
was
My
dating
brother's
Rob.
there and
That's the
Buddy's
last
got a
time I
house there, so we hung out.
Richie's.
We did the whole East
Oh.
Coast. We went the inside.
Martha's Vineyard.
on the
Crazy.
way
My mom's reaction was better than my dad's. What was the expectation of us? Who was here with us?
I had no idea. I thought Dad was showing the neighbors the house. I had no idea, but I did have a premonition because I remember I thought Craig was here a couple weeks ago.
Hurricane stood it there like do
What
now
was the
with
chances of
484.
waking up this morning that you saw that coming?
Never.
Never, right?
Like
Yeah, Fort Louisiana.
one,
Destroyed.
like 1/100 of 1%.
In what state?
Look at this dinner my mom made.
I'm gonna try and make sure that stuff stopped the last time because when I did the last time I put too much in it, it just fell apart and then my
Is
tongue.
this chicken?
Roommates is from Wallingford.
Yes. Yeah, she got me chicken.
Is that chicken or
Yeah, we hung
fish?
out
It's
in
fish.
Connecticut. I rebuilt the boat. I had a bunch of shit.
Wait, what is that?
Wasn't quite right.
What?
Put in
The
new
chicken?
hatches.
No, that's.
there's
Oh,
a
I didn't put the
distributor
chicken
up
up yet.
there
That's
that,
tuna.
Oh, that's what I thought because I was like tripping out about it.
No, I got
So
chicken here. I'm gonna heat the chicken.
Tuna,
Laid down
That's
some
tuna.
tacos,
autopilot
beans,
in.
rice,
And that's
fish, shrimp.
That's
To do what?
I'm gonna send this to
Do
Ben.
you want to take a picture of the boys? No way. That happened. That's a Kodak moment right there.
Oh, that's a cute picture though.
And Dad is laughing.
They're
Yeah.
like bros from bros from the past. Remember how much they used to hang out?
And how much?
Aren't you guys staying for a couple days? You said.
Yeah, we'll be here.
Well,
We'll
so
look you up tomorrow.
yeah.
That's it right there. Gold.
Brad, why are you scratching? Stop scratching.
Why don't we get a picture of all of them?
Full smile,
Yeah,
you
we
get
can do
two
it.
full-
Turner, why
Let
don't
me
you?
get it with
Why
this.
don't you and me get
This
the
is
picture?
the
Yeah, because
OG.
I can take it.
And Sammy
Alright,
can
let's
shake
see.
it.
Nice to be heroes.
Yeah.
Benny.
I already sent one to
Shot.
Ben.
Yeah, Benny will get
Here,
a
I
kick
can
out of
take
it.
Those
it.
guys
To my
connect.
Ben.
They're
Yeah.
already around there.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
take it.
Happening, isn't? Man, all the shit they taught us in school, most of it was lies. I think it was just to learn how to learn.
What was your best, most experience from all the ceremonies? Most
No, I originally
eye-opening.
went there when I broke my back to get healed. And I did get a healing there. The guy rolled a cigarette on my back. That's what I thought he was doing. He was putting tobacco on there. And the other guy was working with the fire.
It was lit, or it was just...
I think he was putting tobacco on him. He lay down. I couldn't see what was going on, but they worked on me for like 45 minutes. Whether it did any good or not, I didn't know.
Healing everything.
But that's originally why I went.
Pipe or whatever.
And then I met a lot of cool people. That's what started. I was like, people had sparkle in their eyes. I was like, wow, where are you from? World travelers, people that you never meet in Melbourne. And so that was really cool. And then I had a couple of pretty good experiences with the medicine, and it really opened. The second ceremony I did peyote, ayahuasca, DMT, and everything, and I was so out of it, they took a break, and I went to the horse corral, and I stood there looking at these horses. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and the earth started moving under my feet. I couldn't keep up with it. So I was running, trying to keep up with the earth, and I'm running like a motherfucker, holding on to this and go, damn, earth is spinning.
So he's trying to keep up.
Yeah, I couldn't keep up. The earth started spinning to my feet. And a chick came up, and she was the one with the Mexican colored thing, and she was the medicine lady that was keeping everything in order, and it's time for you to go back. And I'm busy. I can't go back right now. I'm going to fall flat on my face. And she touched me, and everything stopped. Like, we got to go back. Okay, which way? Woo, boy, I tell you what. And then another ceremony, I had to swim. I was way up looking at everything. I had to swim down to my body, and it was current, man. I'm like, I finally get my body on because I had to go take care of the fire real quick.
You had an out-of-body experience.
Oh, big time. And then I saw people
but
get
you had
healed.
The cord.
My friend is a.
We had this girl come back from the jungle.
It's a huge Tigray Ute, which is.
I saw some stuff. We had this girl come back from the jungle. She'd been there for 2 months doing the E. coli. It's a series of songs, healing songs. She had this beautiful voice, and she was a shapeshifter.
When
I looked at her, she looked 20 years old, then she looked 50 years old, then she looked 20 years old. It was really crazy. So the staff goes around and you sing 3 songs. When staff got to her, I was like, oh shit, I better get the fire going, because as soon as she started singing, everybody started healing. People would start getting well. As soon as she got the staff, I go, oh boy. And everything would start happening. And then she'd release the staff, and it would mellow out, and then the staff would come around, she'd start singing her songs, like, oh, here it comes again, and all the healing would happen. She was really powerful, and every time I looked at her, she looked different. I was like, whew, this medicine's strong, or something really is going on.
Were you doing anything when that happened?
Oh yeah, shit. What would happen was I was the fireman, and you have to bless the water before you can drink the water, and they don't bless the water till 3 o'clock in the morning. So normally they'll allot the firemen some water because you get hot working by the fire. Well, this one lady was, you can't drink water till 3 o'clock in the morning. And I go, well, I'm a sweater, dude, and you want this big peyote fire with 7 logs all set up and all this. And I drank so much tea to keep hydrated. It was the cactus, the limon, what is the cactus called?
So it was like spiked tit.
So this is medicine tea. So I drank so much tea to stay hydrated that I took off, man. I had so much medicine in my body. Oh my God. So that was the time I lost it. But I saw the fire do some weird shit, like the smoke's going up, and spirit would come down and flatten the fire and flatten the smoke, and it would go out this way. And I'm looking at my buddy going, are you seeing this with the fire? And another thing I would do is, you know the lighter knot wood that we get out there, the pine trees get hit by lightning, and it pulls all the sap, it turns into kerosene, and the wood burns black and crazy, like it goes nuts. It's like throwing gasoline in the fire. So I was a fireman, and most of the firemen there were from Miami. They'd have to buy the wood. It was $60 for a little bit of wood. I'd bring a whole truckload of wood with lighter knot. So I'd have this big fire. Everybody's like, dude, your fires are unreal. And then when everybody's tripping real hard, I'd start whipping lighter knot in there. And they're like, holy shit, dude, who are you? You know? And it's like, oh, I'm nobody, don't worry about it. I try to be real humble, but I used to have some badass fires. People would be like, holy shit, dude, because the fireman's pretty powerful. You go from doorman to medicine carrier to fireman to drummer, water drummer, and then to roadman. So I was like third. I never did the drumming. That's all night long. It's pretty heavy duty, but you don't consciously do it. if you do it right, and Chris taught me, but I never became a drummer, you don't even know you're drumming. It's a baby's heartbeat, and it's just happening. And every time someone sings, you go around and drum all the way around. You get a couple breaks, but you're basically hitting that thing all night long.
These guys wouldn't let anyone.
It's powerful.
Never.
Wouldn't let anybody what?
Drum, unless you were like, you were
yeah.
pickerized.
They flew
Yeah,
the drummers
yeah.
in
No, it
from
takes a long
New Mexico
time.
when he used to do stuff.
And they
They
dress the
Pueblo
drum, they
Indians.
pray on the
you
water
had
in
to
the
be like
drum, they
Pueblo.
drink the water at the end.
They flew
It's
them
gnarly.
from
Well, it's
New
their whole life
Mexico.
from
I
when
they're
know that
born.
I was
Oh,
in
yeah.
Mexico.
No, a lot of people were South American, they spoke Spanish. A lot of the ceremonies were in Spanish, and they had a translator. But these guys would come out of the jungle from South
Yeah.
America with the most beautiful words. Oh my God, they were...
But it's different.
Oh.
I mean, some of these people, not all, and especially not the ones from New Mexico, were probably not eating like ayahuasca or doing ceremonies as little kids, tripping their brains out. But a lot of the ones from South America were raised going
On
to
that
church, eating fucking ayahuasca.
Oh yeah.
So by the time they're 50
when
years
babies
old,
were
obviously
born-
they can drum. They can drum without drumming.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Well, it's kind of like knitting.
yeah, exactly.
Like, it has
Yes,
to
or
get to
riding
the
a
point-
bike.
You
In
can't
that way,
think
when
about
babies
it, you
are
just
born-
have to do it.
Yes.
They rub ayahuasca on their lips right after they're born.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it helps them. It's a strong agent that helps them come alive. I mean, it's like known to be
Well,
good.
they hear it when they're a baby too. The music. They
Yeah.
hear those drums their whole entire life.
Yep.
It's a pretty amazing trip. I mean, it really shaped who I am. Because before that, I was like, nah, fuck that. I wasn't a believer at all in anything.
And then he just went all in.
Oh, all in.
It's like
Big time.
Mr.
Big
Jones.
time.
Oh, I got crazy stories. I mean, I didn't even touch it with some of the things that went down.
Well, when you realize that there's higher beings, whatever, just like you said, fairy and gnomes. I mean, anthroposophy believes in that big time. That they're under the fairies are above, the gnomes are below. They're like under there taking care of everything right now.
We're going by
Like,
right now.
I
We're
had
just not
a friend of
seeing it.
mine who
Their
couldn't
eyes
even
can
walk
only
on the grass. He got
process
so
10
upset.
things worse
I
than
said,
there's
Steve, it's
1,000
fine. He
things
goes,
going
no, it's not.
around.
No,
I
he
said,
couldn't
dude.
drive over
fairy
the
today.
trees. Like
Which
when
is
he was
really
he was a landscaper, but when he cut the trees down, he couldn't drive on the tractor. He had to go get homeopathic shots, like
Of gold.
shots to ground him because he was so spiritual. He couldn't.
Yeah, he's lost in this world. Well, they say our eyes can take in 1,000 images, but our brain can only process 100 of them.
Right.
So we're seeing shit that's not even registering.
Yes.
So the way they proved this was the indigenous on an island. They used to walk along the beaches and collect and forage and stuff, shellfish and whatever. And this one guy, he knew what a swell was like and what the waves were like. But every once in a while, these waves would come in that were different. And he couldn't figure it out. So he kept looking out in the ocean. He's going, something's creating these waves. And if you've never seen a boat before, you can look out and look at a boat because you don't know what it looks like. It doesn't register in your mind. But he knew something was out there, so he kept looking. He kept doing, I know there's something out there. And finally, because he kept thinking that, he finally started seeing an image. And then finally, he saw the boat go by. And he goes, look, out there. That's what's creating those waves. There's a boat going by. And nobody could see it but him. It took him a while. And then he started saying, well, it's brown, it's got mass. And they're going, oh, yeah, because they started picturing in their mind, and they could see it. It's a weird phenomena, but that's really what it is.
That happens from the time you're a kid, adult. It's like once your consciousness is raised.
Yeah, you have to
can't
learn. That's a
go back,
tree.
but you have to learn. It's like
Right.
learning how
So
to
what
spell
they're
conscious.
saying is, through that, is that there's a lot going on. If you don't know about it, you won't see it.
Right.
And
But
that's what it is.
That's
The
the
awareness there that.
really behind the equal sign of
But if other
DMT.
people don't have that same
It's
consciousness,
an
they
explosion
can't see
of perception.
Right, because
So
we're
we're closed off.
Yeah, we're limited.
Basically,
And
what
actually,
we believe
it's an
lives in
illusion.
Yes.
Yeah, we can't handle it, so it's an illusion.
Yes.
And really, this wall's not here. It's kind of here, but I can put my hand through it if I really want to, if I know how. And I've seen people do that. They didn't use the door. They walked through the fucking block wall and went out. I was like, what? What? That guy just walked through the fucking wall? No. He could do it, It's not there, really. It's wobbling. Everything's wobbling.
Everything.
So we create an illusion so we don't go mentally insane.
They can
Shit's
the
going.
stuff
Yeah, and we can't handle it, so we're living in a bubble.
Our brains are trained to live in a steel trap.
Yeah. Otherwise, we go insane. So.
And then people today, with the technology and media and all this shit, they're trained to not think anything.
And then
they just want to dumb down.
There's, it's like flashing time and speed and everything. So different shit is flashing all the time. Different times, different places. You know, we just can't handle it. Yeah, it's. When you do enough medicine, you get a little bit of feeling, you know, or you do that kind of work. It doesn't even have to be medicine. The sweats, the Sundance. When you extreme your body to the extremes, you know, dehydration, dancing for 24 hours, your limit, that's when you can see.
Right.
That's living, you know, like people that are protective and stay in their little bubble and don't get to the extreme, they ain't living, man. You got to be on the edge to feel it.
Live amongst what is here, realizing that this is all like a joke.
So here's an example
or it
of
doesn't
that.
matter. Is like that's pretty special.
There's this girl that had been ceremony. She's like, all the ceremonies are like, how can you afford this and how can you drink that much medicine? She was just locked into it. And I was doing fires and doing a lot of ceremony. It was a lot for me. So she decided that the earth needed to be rebirthed, and she was going to be the mother and give birth to the new earth. She was pregnant for 2.5 years, and she even gained weight, and she was convinced that she was pregnant, she was going to rebirth the earth. She got a little carried away, a little lost. I don't know if she ever came home.
Right.
Too much medicine, too far. She got too far.
Sometimes if you go to the other side,
It's hard to get back.
I would think the whole mission of it is to raise your consciousness so much that you can actually give back to the earth, give back to the animals and other people, and contribute and free yourself of your own needs to give back. But if it becomes about you, then you've lost the mission.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Like,
well, some of those people,
it has to be about being
they
able
go
to
off
get
and
to
they're
that
not at home
point.
anymore. I mean, all those people in Orange, when I was in LA doing the yoga thing, they were praying and doing that shit all day, and they come in service. I don't know what they were. They wear, you know, the ones that wear orange. It's Asian. They weren't home.
Orange? You mean the Hare Krishnas?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hare Krishnas. That's exactly who they were.
I've seen them in Atlantic
But
City,
orange is their
Atlantic
color. You know, those
City.
people that meditate all the time.
They
This
come
didn't
really
happen in your life. We're fixing something in your ancestry that is affecting your life. You know, they go pretty deep.
I know
You
which
can
one.
go.
It's right there by
Here's a good one. One time I was in New Mexico, and we went to a teepee medicine sweat. And the guy shows up, and he's a full Indian. He's got no hair. He's totally white. He looks sick. I mean, he looks like just shriveled up sick. And I could tell he was the guy, you know.
You remember what town it was?
Well, he worked on the dark side. Yeah, we were in, what's the spiritual town? Not,
Santa Fe, Taos?
Taos. We were in Taos. And
we were in
outside of Taos.
We were in Taos.
Yeah.
So you were up pretty high north.
Yeah, we were almost in Colorado there.
That's the fourth quarter.
Yeah. So I go, wow, this guy's gonna. And he works on the dark side with crystals, right? And he uses peyote, and he has 4 or 5 guys that go around and hand out the peyote. He doesn't touch the medicine, but he works with these crystals. So we all get in the teepee, and they gave us very little medicine. I didn't really get where I wanted to go, but you know, a little bit. And he's trying to figure out this one girl that has a problem, and he goes on and he's looking in his crystals. Well, the medicine worked a little better than I thought, and you know, time kind of passed, and I look over and he's not there. And I go, where is he? You know, where is he? He goes, he was up in the rafters the whole time, elevated with his crystals. And I didn't even think, levitated, not even thinking to look up, you know. I never looked up. He goes, yeah, he was up there most of the time.
Yeah, some people can do that.
Yeah. Oh, I saw a guy walk through a block wall. He just turned around, he didn't go out the door, he walked through the wall.
Look at Jesus.
Jesus, Mary was the one with power.
Jesus was on the water, and then who was I forget.
You know who had all the power was Mary.
Paul.
Yeah.
And then when he became conscious that he was walking on water, he fell through. And he said, "Oh man, I've so little faith."
Well, Mary and Jesus, they were intergalactic travelers. They were able to molecular take their body apart and go anywhere and then reform. And the monks in Tibet that have been sitting there in the mountains for 30 years, praying and stuff, they can do the same thing. This one monk, and I saw this thing on it, whether it was true or not, there was this guy that was a mountain climber, and he goes, oh yeah, I've climbed all those mountains over there, I know all the peaks, and the monk goes, I do too. And he goes, well, you know about this peak? He goes, and he explains the peak perfectly. He goes, well, you're not a mountain climber. He goes, I've been all over these mountains. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, I'm not always in my body. Right. And so the guy climbs, so he takes off, and he goes, well, you can hang out here. You can hang out here, but you've got to go through a 4-day ceremony where you don't eat. You got to cleanse before you go into our mountains. That was the thing to go hike. So for 4 days, the guy cleansed, and then he went off on his hike, and 3 days into it, he's one of the toughest places, and there's a guy sitting on a corner going, hey, what's up, bro? And so he gets on a snowboard, and he starts riding down. Guy's coming right by him. He got no snowboard, but he's ripping too. And the guy writes all about it in the book, you know, this guy in Tibet.
But the fasting is a big, so...
Yeah, they wouldn't let him go to the religious mountains till he cleaned up.
But that was...
And there's always, this is one this girl taught me, because I'd begin, oh man, the oceans are all fucked up, the whales are dying, and I'm just bad-mouthing everything. She goes, you're not doing it right. Yeah, there's problems out there, but don't actuate on all the things that are wrong. Yeah, think about the positive side, because there's a dual reality, and you can stay in the dark and you can be fucked up all your life, and you know people that work that way. They're go. And the indigenous, the ones in Australia, the Aborigines, they call it the dream trail. They'd be, you know, cruising, and they're just nomadic, and there's a flat valley here, and it's nice, and there's a ragged mountain here. They start going down the flat valley. It didn't feel right, wrong vibes. They had to go up over the middle of the mountain, the hardest way to go, but that was where the dream trail was. So they would always stay out of the darkness. They could feel it, and they would turn towards the light, because there's dark light, there's median lines all over the place. It's a dual reality. So you pick. You can be in the light all your life, you can be in the dark all your life. Most of us go back and forth, you know. Society runs us down and messes us up pretty bad.
Well, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Globally, through technology, they're just trying to feed the message that they're trying to feed.
Right.
And it's like
to make money. It's all greed.
Smothering people where before we wouldn't.
We would. How crazy was that? Well, what the hell is that?
You'd have a lot more of an opportunity to be outside, to connect to the natural world. Right. So that wouldn't inundate your mind.
Right.
Today we have so much of our world, not just the United States, everywhere being, you know, messaged by, you know, whoever is doing the messaging.
Yep. No, you should have a connection with your food. Grow your own food. If you forage food and you pick something to make salad, it's 10 times better for you than anything you can even grow or buy. Is way worse. But yeah, there's a lot of power to that, and a lot of health, you know. And stress.
And there are spots that vibrate more than others.
Oh yeah. No, you can buy a house, and it's got a bad vibe, and you're gonna have trouble.
Yes.
I know guys that are called dozers, and they use stuff that they used to do for mining and find metals in the earth. They use that to find spirits in the house. I know a guy does it for a profession. And he told me a story about a family who moved into a house and everything fell apart right away. And 2 months later, they were a mess, and he goes, it's your house. They got out of the house and everything mellowed out. You're in a bad spot. You got to move, you know. Get rid of that house. Yeah, there's funky spots. I had a girl that was really active. She came to the surf shop. She goes, there's a little bit of a weird vibe here. Do you realize that? And that place always did have a little craziness to it. I go, yeah, we worked with it for quite a few years. But I know what you mean. I go back now, and it feels a little weird to me.
It's done for you.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm not supposed to be there.
You read that chapter and turned and read it again and read it again. That book is fucking on the shelf, dude.
Yeah. I remember the day.
How did you guys meet each other?
I remember. I was thinking about it last night. I was selling boards to George. I was on the lawn. We had a bunch of, and you just probably driving by. And I think you had a kid or two with you, and you just checked it out. And you're like, hey, what's up? And then I don't know. I didn't see you for 5 years, and then we met.
But they have to be plugged in. The battery.
When did I see you again? You showed up at the surf shop. You were down in Florida. Hey, what's going on? Like, I know that guy. You know, maybe 5 years later, and then from there, you ended up hanging out.
It's all live.
Yeah, I don't even know.
So you were just driving by the shop?
stop and pump.
Like you were
he's
just
connected.
So
whatever
It was just
going
meant to
on,
be. That's how it
yeah,
works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's gonna tell us about.
It's made for
berries.
medicine, the prostate medicine, and they grow natural in Florida in the woods everywhere. And there are these little sawy vines that come out. They got teeth on them, so they cut you up really easy when you get in there. But when they get mature, they have these berries that come off. And when the price gets right, you can get $20 a plant. All you do is you have a pair of cutters, you cut the berries off, and you rack them in a bucket, and you go to the next plant. When the price is up, you can make good money. But you're in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere. It's Florida heat, 100, degrees and 100% humidity, and you're sweating balls. You go in there in the morning, you quit like 11, and you go back at night. But we find these honey holes in private property where you're not supposed to be and sneak in, and the berries would be growing like fucking nuts, and it was money, So we get up 5 in the morning, go in there, sneak in, and you have to haul out hundreds of pounds of berries, so you got to sneak your car. I trashed my car in the woods. It wasn't made for the woods, and put so many berries in it, I ruined the suspension. But we go out there berry hunting, and me and Benny, our best week, we both made like $1,700, $2,000 in 1 week. We worked pretty hard for it though. But it was so hot, I would go barefoot with baggies, and my whole legs were all scarred up from getting the shit. And it finally got so bad I had to start wearing pants. But we just tromped through the woods and carried buckets, and somebody drive the car. We had 4-wheelers and stuff. The property that I owned was loaded with it, so we went there a lot. And then Benny, the year afterwards, he didn't have a job, he didn't have any work, he was in Orlando. So he went out and found places and got berries and made, $3 or $4,000 in a couple weeks real quick. You know how to do it. But yeah, that was a good way to make money.
Would you ever go back berry picking?
Yeah, I like it. It's cool. I like being in the woods, man.
This is a really good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, we did a lot of that too.
You can
watch a
find
documentary, and I've never
You
done
can
mushrooms,
find
and
it.
neither is he. But like, really,
Oh,
this would be
shit.
cool to just go hunting for.
Yeah, they grow wild there, in the cow fields. My kids came back with 100 pounds of mushrooms one time. We had them all laid out in the back of the surf shop, drying out on the surfboard racks.
They grow in poop, right?
Yeah, they grow out of the cow shit.
I can see that
pretty
thing
damn
takes
gray.
that thing takes a hell of a picture, man.
Yeah, those things are unbelievable.
But that camera is amazing for a phone.
And this is an older iPhone, which is.
What are you guys doing right now?
Nothing, dude. I got
I'm
nothing.
jerking off on the table.
It does look like that.
It's never that.
I'll be over here if that's what he's doing.
I'm just stand over here then. He's gonna go pee in his cup, like clockwork.
Yeah,
He's got to get that prostate shit. I had my volume wasn't that good, man. I took those prostate pills and new hose.
New hose. Wow.
What
he
happens,
did that.
man? You start getting older. Both of us still think we're 30 years old, but we're in 65-year-old bodies, man. That ain't cool.
Mentally, how old are you?
Yeah, 15, 12.
Is mind over matter there?
Yeah, I'm getting younger.
Spiritually, you're like 6,000 years old.
Yeah,
Right?
no, I don't have any responsibilities. I can be a kid again. I'm screwing around,
Dude, classic.
breaking shit.
It's good seeing you though, dude.
Yeah, it's a whim, dude. I had your number forever, and I was like, well, shit, we gotta call him, man. And yeah, I'm right around the corner. I didn't know where the hell you're gonna be,
You really didn't, though. Did you know that we lived in Summers Point or no? No.
I know
weird.
Ben was cruising a lot. You figure you guys could be anywhere.
It was the universe worked out.
Yeah.
This is true.
And it's nice to get off the boat and chill with people, I started talking to myself, doing weird shit, dancing disco shit, getting whacked on the boat,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
just
see that, though.
you got to run around and do stupid shit because you're not doing anything.
I hope you guys enjoyed that video and just, a little celebration of life type of video. But I think it's really hard to lose anyone who you're close to. And it makes you think about your own mortality. It makes you think about your own mortality. And the fact that one day I'll have to live knowing, that my dad's not here anymore. And Benny and his brothers are going through that right now. but I think it cuts me so deep because we lost a real one. And what I mean by that is Craig always stood up for what he believed in. He always did what he believed in. He always went for his dreams, and he went to build something that wasn't there before him. He didn't follow suit. He wasn't a follower. He was a leader. And I think for me, I had a lot of respect for Craig. And also I just liked being around him because he was so funny. And he had really good stories, as you guys saw. But it's more than that. It's like you're losing one of the good ones, you know? I know a lot of people know how that feels. I don't know. I don't want to just sit here and cry, but it's hard not to. It should be a happy video, not a sad video, because I've experienced so many cool things with Craig myself, and I know my dad was just super close to Craig. And older guys don't show emotions, and they don't, tell somebody how much they love each other, but you could tell when they were together, when they were around each other, that they would fuel each other, and they would put a smile on each other's face. And, they were kind of cut from this similar cloth. And not that many people walk in those shoes. And I think Craig, even more so than my dad, was way out on the edge. And he did make a statement one time to us. He said, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. I think he lived that way, and he truly lived that way almost every day. So it's hard because I can see parts of him in me, in Benny, in my dad, in my brothers, and it's really hard to lose a family friend who everyone in our family loved and we're close to, and to lose somebody that stood for something, built a brand and eventually lost it, built a very successful surf shop and eventually lost it. We're all trying to build something. We're all trying to build a legacy, or at least, me and people that I like to surround myself with want to build something inspiring and build something that is meaningful, that can be carried on, and doesn't have to die with you. So I guess that's the point. Spectrum Surfboards is here to stay. So Craig succeeded, and I think that's why it's so hard to see him go. But thank you guys for watching, and the next video will be less sad. Art.
This place is sick.
Yeah, look at the rear tires rotted off on the treads in the back of the truck. Flap the tread off coming.
Did you make that fucking thing?
Yeah.
Made it.
Yeah.
By yourself?
10 pieces of wood, stacked them up. I took 3 and tripod strung together. It took probably 100 man hours of labor. Kind of wrapped the rope around the top. And then we got this cheap thread. Every 4 inches, lacing these pom-poms together, and just started fucking wrapping. I had some nails, hanging them on nails and shit. And 2 layers. The first layer wasn't quite getting it, the second layer.
Did you do more than 2?
Yeah, eventually I think I might put a layer of screen on it for the summer, and then put another layer on. That way the little bug thing can get through and stuff, and you won't see the screen. And then put a better hatchway on.
Sicky.
I mean, it doesn't get that cold here. It gets a little hot. I'm going to make some palapas, screened-in palapas, in some other places. A few more teepees.
It's pretty fucking sick, I'll tell you.
I can make coffee in 5 minutes. That thing heats up water in a heartbeat. I got my coffee little maker right there, just French press. I come out, coffee, smoke, and then I get the fire going and cook breakfast. Yeah, it's not bad. The only thing is if it's hot or if the bugs are biting you. Work, I cleared a lot of this property. We had a couple of night burns. We burnt the shit out of this, and it doesn't look like much, but that night, man, we had like 15-foot flames going back here. It was kind of sick.
You got that exploding wood?
Yeah.
You have a lighter?
See how it's all sappy and weird looking?
Yeah.
And you can see it's like petrified. It got whacked by lightning. They call it lighter knot. See how it automatically gets black? Look at that. It's already going. It needs a little bit of heat to really go though.
Where's the crypt growing back here?
Not yet. At my house. Watch how this thing will just go.
Is it just gonna take off in your hand like that?
Yeah. It's gonna go nuts as soon as it builds a little heat.
Watch yourself, D.
Yeah, it's super heavy. This piece is heavy.
And it just lights real quick like that and burns, huh?
Wait till it catches. It's gonna be like black smoke and all this fuel. There's somehow that you're gonna be able, it's gonna be hard to put this out. And this will burn for 2 hours with intensity.
And you just lit that with a lighter.
I just did it for what? A couple
Did
seconds.
you just venture on that like little deal? Fucking
No,
around?
all the Florida crackers, they all know about this stuff. It's real black and smoky though. Now, if I had another piece, because it won't quite build up the heat, to really get it going, it'll just go fucking
What's
nuts.
a Florida cracker?
Native. You know, somebody who's been out in the woods for a long time, you know.
They live in like shacks?
Well, no, just like the people that know the land, you know, the natives.
So they're crackers.
That's what they call them.
There can't be many of them left.
See all the sap coming out of it? That shit'll burn the shit out of you. You're sitting there holding it drip on you. That whole piece will be like engulfed soon. A lot of black smoke. I got a crystal on top of the tent. See that? Almost looks like a phallic symbol coming off. It's a piece of that lighter knot strapped to this one.
Oh yeah, I see it.
And that came from Brazil. Anna gave me that crystal. It's set up in the directions. I'm waiting for this freaking wicked beam of light to come flying out there.
To hit it just right?
I know I'm in the right place.
So you can light up your fucking deal.
Who knows? It might laser zap, you know.
Might be a time machine, this tent.
Yeah, that thing could spin right off. You're right. You know, any of that.
Do you want it to be a time machine?
I figured it out. You know, it wasn't that tough.
It wasn't that tough.
You pop are a bitch, man. That's why I got this freaking swing axe. The grip on, you go around and fucking, like, you're pissed off. You come out here and start whacking on those things. And then it's a whole system prying them out because they're like aliens. They got roots all going in. It's a bitch.
What do you get pissed about out here?
No, if you need to like release, you come out here and
time machine
start taking
malfunction.
those things out.
Take a little check.
No, it don't take long. You can't get pissed at nothing out here. You might stub your toe.
They have more of these?
Well, they're not. The rest of them are just campsites that you could go to. I had a tent set up on this. We got a field going back over here.
So what do you think? Are you happy out here?
It gets a little solitude, you know. But if you bring in your chicks, you're good.
Is this a where you predicted your life would be at 50? How old are you?
Not at all, dude. 56. But who predicted that all the planets were going to align? I guess they knew, but things are changing, man. It's not as I grew up. You guys are right in the middle of it.
Yeah, but the surfboard industry changed.
Yeah, that changed.
Even
Everything does.
your buddy, the biggest mother ever, Grubby Clark, fucking.
He ran with the money like all the CEOs. But he knew. He saw it coming. The molded board that changed everything.
Right.
The
This
internet.
is where it started, right here. And I was like, fuck, I saw this oak tree right behind us. Back to the back, that's where that clearing is, back behind the teepee. Well, you can see the teepee. You see the dead shit right there? You can see the top of the teepee right there, the dead thing. And then there's a clearing there, so I'm going to kind of connect this and open this up and plant trees. And this will eventually be like where the animals are, or I don't know, fucking what, whatever it ends up being. But I spent like 2 days clearing this, because this is what it all...
So this is living on the end of the fucking limb.
Kinda. It's not that bad, dude. There's a big-ass turtle hole. You'll see, you might see a turtle today. There's big land
How big are they?
They fucking get big, man. It's walking like prehistoric animals. There's bigger holes than that. Yeah, I wanted to get back, because there's a few oak trees on this property, and we hiked towards the well. There's a couple big oak groves.
Wait, how long have you been living out here?
Well, I haven't really been living here. A few days. I've been out here almost. I've had my shit out here almost 2 years, a year and a half.
But you're gonna live out here.
Yeah, eventually. I got to get a well and get the water system going, man. After a while, you got to have a shower.
Are you trying to make it like self-sustaining out here?
Yeah, solar panels, batteries.
Dude, where he lives is nice. Down by the 7-Eleven.
I'm paying $100 a month for my house. I kind of subleased it all out, so it's real cheap. I live in a little shack out back, but I love it. So I got such a good deal down there.
Once you think you move out here, though, are you ever coming back?
You know, it's all cool, but it's pretty solitary. Like, nobody comes knocking on your door. Nobody's going to come visit much, you know?
Well, do you like that or no?
I'm used to having a lot of people around me. So that's a little bit tough. After a couple days, you run out of dope or something, you want to split. So I got to grow some.
Fuck yeah.
Is this your way of living on the edge of the tree branch like you were saying in the car?
I don't know about that, but I think it's a good idea to be able to know how to make soap, be able to kill shit, grow shit, you know? What happens when Walmart closes and money's worthless? And you can't go get your food, the microwave doesn't work.
We're gonna be coming to see the birds.
You even know how to cook? A little bit, huh? You know how to start a fire, you know? If you can't find a Bic, you know, you gotta have a flint, magnifying glass. A lot of those things.
You gotta get.
What if you can't find matches?
No, but I'm saying a lot of it is.
Actually, you got to learn to live without fire.
You got to reprogram your brains. The hardest part.
Yeah, teepees posted up. There'd be chicks, you know, doing fucking necklaces, selling them down on the end of the road, and people tending the fields, and there'd be shit going on, you know. At night, you all get around the fire, and 4 or 5 people are musicians, really good, you know. You all dance and sing, the old way. And you're totally connected with the earth, with the people around you. You're not even connected with the people at your work, you know. You send them emails even though they're right across the freaking thing, you know. You don't go talk to them, look at them, or even think about looking in their eyes. My God, they probably got a lens over it that changes the color of their eyes anyways. It's fucked up, dude.
So you think
and everything's on the outside. The chicks got, you know, everybody's got to be looking all metro and shit. That's bullshit. It's all on the inside.
You and I failed.
So miserably.
So you think everyone would be happier out here?
Well, not everybody. That's what makes the world go around. Everybody's different. Some people like the fucking fast lane. Let them have it, you know.
It's easier.
If everybody wanted this, there'd be no woods. There'd be too many fires, you know. So everybody, that's what makes the world go around. That's why there's abundance. If everybody wanted the same thing, we'd be fucked. Everybody wants different shit, you know. One person's trash is another person's treasure. Like, I'm all stoked to get those tanks, and they were going to scrap them for the metal, you know. That's going to be my water system. That's huge, you know. You got food, water, shelter, and happiness, joyousness. So that was his trash. That's my treasure.
Are you happy?
Yeah, somewhat. I'm going through a transition of letting go, so it's weird.
That'd be so nice.